Okay, second video. First fix didn't work. Basically a Dyson V10 vacuum. The little switch on the battery here keeps getting depressed by the red trigger button down inside the handle. Originally thought it was because the trigger button may have been too long and the tolerances were too close, and so when it started to get a little loose, all the screws and stuff, it would push down on the battery trigger. So I shaved off a little bit of that red button down inside there. Thought that would work, put it back together multiple times, didn't do it. What I ended up figuring out is that this one screw on the back that goes through the battery into the switch trigger mechanism inside the handle, this was sliding back and forth and it was wiggling, letting, I don't know, for some reason pushing this down. So what I did is I took out the screw in the battery case down here, measured the distance from the top hole to that hole, and drilled another hole in the handle so that I can put a screw through here and through there, and then the other two here, which keeps it from flexing. So basically this battery was flexing in and out of the handle, pulling the trigger button down in and out, which then inadvertently just kind of sets this battery pack in, turns the vacuum on. I'll put it back together, show you where the screw goes. Basically using one of the long screws that came out of the original hole and putting that into the small hole that goes into the battery. And then I used the short screw that I took out of the battery housing, and I'll use it in the original hole. So we'll see, it should work. Okay, so I got it back together. I've got the original screw that's in the battery housing up in the original hole for the handle and the trigger, and then I've got one of the longer screws that was originally in this hole down here going through into the battery housing. Before, I would shake it and you would see this little light activation come on telling you the filter's not connected and all that, which triggers basically the vacuum to come on. So since I drilled that second hole, it's kind of weird, you got a little bit of a screw hanging out there, but it doesn't really bug you. It hasn't came back on yet, so I think that's just a bad manufacturing. For some reason that hole got worked kind of loose and rounded out, that was allowing the battery to come in and out, which then would trigger the switch handle inside to push down on the button on the battery. Done, fixed for now. We'll see how long it lasts later.